Welcome everyone to day 29. Witness your financial fears. If you haven't seen week 5 and the update to that, please take a moment to watch it. Right now, my studio is having some issues with the video, so we're going to try our best to release it. But I don't want to delay day 29 any further, so we're going to move forward, okay? But please prepare for today. There's a lot of juicy stuff with week 5. The title is Raise Your Self-Worth, Raise Your Net Worth, and it's so full of juicy stuff. It's 40 minutes, guys. 40 minutes of life-blowing, mind-blowing information, juicy stuff. So take a moment to review week 5 and find out what we're supposed to be doing for the rest of the week. But with no further ado, let's start day 29, okay? Today, you're going to identify the financial story your ego created. You might already have an idea of that story, or you might be completely unaware of how your thoughts affect your finances. As you know by now, the witnessing step is crucial. You must get honest about your financial fears if you're going to change them. The only way to begin the process of disassociating from your ego is to see what it believes it's reality, but it really isn't. It's illusion. There you go. I like that word better. Lesson 79 of A Course in Miracles is the reflection. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. We can't solve something we don't know what it is. So that's why we worked on ourselves, going deep within to see what are the implicit messages that we are hearing or running our programming with in our bodies and our lives, so that we can change it and remove fear from the driver's seat and place love in its place. I turn to this message whenever I need a spiritual solution or a metaphysical solution for the ego's perception of lack. I once spent 3 hours in a salon with a group of next-generation feminists, writers talking about the future of feminism. During the discussion, each woman complained that she had trouble earning money as a journalist. Every member of the group reinforced the other's lack mentality, strengthening the fear around the table. This discussion angered me. Though I had a tremendous amount of compassion for where they were coming from, I also felt a deep inner calling to recognize the problem so it could be solved. I raised my voice and said, there has to be a more creative way to see this. Then I went on to suggest innovative ways for journalists to earn through social media, ad sales, and strategic alliances. My disruption of the conversation brought the issue to the surface and helped the group recognize the problem. Okay, it's great if it's well received, but if the people aren't really interested in your opinion, the problems it can create. I'm quite sure plenty of people have walked into your life hearing one part of the story, not hearing the whole thing, and we weren't ready to hear those solutions. So we gotta be mentally, physically, emotionally ready to hear solutions. If we're not ready, oh boy, that wall comes up quick. The issue was that if we focused on our lack, how could we truly lead? Highlighting the issue was the first step toward awakening to spiritual healing and creative opportunities. This week, you will do the same. You will bring your own lack mentality to the surface so that you can recognize the problem in order to solve it. By witnessing how fear has blocked your abundance, you'll open up to creative solutions. Today's practice is to recognize the problem and invite a spiritual solution. Your morning reflection. Let's begin the day with your morning reflection. Get comfortable in your meditation space. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. I know what she says. We're trying to increase our nitric oxide. which helps the gas exchange in our cellular makeup, because this is deep information we're trying to get into our bodies. You're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Out through the mouth is as if you're blowing out the candles. Read the morning passage and then sit in stillness for 1 minute. Feel all the feelings that wash over you while sitting still. Allow yourself to become aware of all the hidden emotions that live behind your financial fears. Are you ready? Today I am willing to witness my financial fears. Without judgment, I pay attention to the places where I've chosen the ego. I will become conscious of how I've blocked my abundance. I know this awareness is the first right action toward reclaiming my power. When I witness my ego, I see it as separate from who I am. This gives me the power to disassociate from my fear and realize I am not my lack mentality. I'm going to repeat that last one. I am not my lack mentality. And what I've learned in some of my spiritual classes, when you say the word not and mentality, it's like it's a double negative. But what she's trying to say here is don't identify with the lack mentality. When you say the word I am, it's a powerful spell that you place on you, identifying yourself with that mentality. You are not your lack mentality. You feel a lack mentality. So how about I realize I am not my lack mentality, and I will no longer feel my lack mentality. Affirmation for today. I am not my lack mentality. Let's change it to the positive, okay? I am abundant. I feel abundant. I will embrace abundance. I love feeling abundant. I will speak abundance into my life. I see an abundant life. I know or understand what abundance can do for my life. You just added all the chakras. And what you're trying to do is embrace the positivity of it all and not identify with the lack mentality. Throughout the day, make an effort to be conscious of your financial fears. For instance, maybe it makes you uncomfortable to look at your bank statements. Oh, I had those days. Or maybe you avoid negotiating for fear of not getting what you want. In the moment when you recognize your ego popping up, simply say, I am not my lack mentality. I do not identify with a lack mentality. This affirmation will remind you that you've merely chosen the fear-minded approach to money. This practice will kick off the process of disconnecting from ego's fear. If you're someone who often talks about lack in social settings, then you can use the acronym WAIT. Why am I talking? Each time you witness yourself engage in a lack conversation, simply say to yourself, wait. And then in your mind, recite your affirmation. I will not identify myself in a lack mentality. Remember, I am is a magic word. And sometimes if you say the word not, the only thing that you hear is lack mentality. So what you're going to say is, I will not attach my identity with a lack mentality and choose the positive affirmations I said before. Trust that by thinking or saying the words, you're creating a subtle shift that will move your focus away from fear. Remember that this path requires a moment-to-moment commitment to love. That commitment will strengthen your trust in abundance, one loving thought at a time. Tonight's exercise. The work this evening will require your pen and journal. So get cozy and crack open that notebook. Spend 10 minutes in writing on the topic. What are my financial fears and where did they come from? Your dominant hand tells you what your conscious fears are, whatever it's in your conscious mind. Your non-dominant hand allows you to tap into your subconscious. I invite you to try writing with both, the dominant and the non-dominant. Just let the pen flow, and be the gentle witness to whatever fears come forward. It's important to get honest about your ego's financial perception in order to clear them up. You may be very aware of where you picked up your financial fears. Maybe you don't realize you were afraid of all. Just let your subconscious ride through you and lead you to uncover the thoughts and energy that are blocking your abundance. After your writing exercise, reread your write and say this request out loud or prayer. Inner guide, I am aware of my ego's financial fears. I recognize the stronghold the ego has on my life, and I am willing to release it. Thank you for your guidance and support. I will not identify with my lack mentality. I am abundant and free. This simple process reinforces your willingness to look at the ego and surrender your fear to your inner guide. Consciously looking at the wreckage your ego has caused is a huge part of this transformational process. Your newfound awareness of the ego's fear-based tricks will heighten your awareness of how your thoughts have sabotaged your faith in abundance. This awareness is what ignites your connection to your ing. Seeing your ego as separate from yourself awakens your love center and unconsciously calls on abundance. Don't be afraid to look at what the Course calls the ego's tiny mad ideas. Trust that by looking, you invite love back in.